Hi, welcome back to 3D Creations. Now, this week we are going to be making a cabin. I've already imported some trees that we made in a previous tutorial, and to make a cabin, you're going to see a lot of techniques that are similar to the barn, but this time it's going to be a little bit more copy and pasty and should be a much quicker project. So to start out, I'm going to grab a round roof to be 1/2 of a log. Scale it. Well, actually, I'm going to keep it very big to work on it, and then we can scale it down later. I'm going to put it right there, trying to match it up with the coordinate system. You can if you want. Copy and paste it, shove it over to about there. And now that those are our base boards, now we are basically going to recreate the toy Lincoln logs. I'm going to stretch this out, overflow just a little, and push it up just a little bit. So there's a tiny little gap. Alright, now you can copy and paste that one over. And push it over to the other side. Great. Now I'm going to select both of those round ones. And before I copy, I'm going to set up the colors. There we go. Now I'm going to select both of just the two top ones. And we are going to move them up just a tiny bit to about there. And we are going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now we want these to be matched up so I'm going to move the lower base plates to be in line with those. And I'm actually going to mirror or align tool and snap those in place. The reason we're doing this is because if we make it a square, then we can select all 4 of these and copy and paste and just move it up. And you know, I'm not liking that big of a gap, so I'm also going to select these 2 and squish it down. We want each one to sit just above the one below it. So I'm going to select these 2, move them down. There we go. And you can expand the baseboards to match. There we go. So now that we have this, we can copy everything except the baseboards. Copy and paste. Move them over, match them up, and just move on up. We can repeat this process as many times as we want, and we just want to select the bottom part, and we can just keep going. So this is going to be the last one for me, but there's nothing stopping you from making a very, very tall cabin. All right. Now with that done, I'm going to select everything and group just to keep it better organized. So now that we have the walls, we need a roof. We could grab the roof piece and get a nice peak. However, actual cabins, at least older period ones actually don't have like flat walls. They use the logs all the way up. So I am going to grab a box, flatten it, and stretch it out. Okay, we don't want it quite at 0, so make it, say 5 thick. Alright. And we want it to be half. We want it to overhang. Then we want to rotate it to not quite 45. Let's go with a 33 slope. Move it over so it's halfway. Drop it down. Okay, now I'm going to copy and paste that same piece. And flatten it out once again. There we go. Make it nice and big. We want to rotate it that same 33. This is what we will be using to cut the top of the logs. There we go, that looks good to me. Make it a hole. We might have to expand our rooftop just a little bit. Alright, and now I'm going to select both the red roof and the hole, copy and paste, mirror tool to flip it around. And then we can match it up to about there. I know that's not quite right, so we're going to select. We are going to temporarily group these pieces together. And then we're going to select that and our roof, align it to the walls, and then ungroup. Actually, let's move it down. I saw we had a little bit of a gap in there, so let's not have that. Alright, so with that done, alright, once we have our roof placed, we can select our two boxes and the walls and group them to shave off those extra pieces. And we have a little bit of a clipping issue, so I'm going to just move the rooftop up a tiny bit, and there we go. I'm also going to group those two together. We have a little bit of a peak right there, but that's totally fine. Next, I think I want to add a chimney at the back, so I'm going to grab a box, make it bigger and taller. Now we can decide do we want a circular chimney or a square. I'm thinking a square chimney. Alright, I'm going to group the entire chimney, make it a dark gray, sort of stone-like. We've got some edges all over the place. Let's fix that. There we go. Now I'm going to go in here, copy and paste the top of the chimney. I'm going to hold Alt and Shift to scale down in all directions just a little bit. And I'm going to align them to its position. Maybe scale down just a little bit more. And then I'm going to make this one a hole and hoop. And that gives us the punch, or the hole in our chimney. So the smoke can come out. Now, to add a door or windows, we're going to start by grabbing a whole box. Make a relative door shape. I am going to align it to the cabin. Then we can group the walls. Oop, not quite thick enough. There we go. Now, this doesn't look the cleanest, but we can make some adjustments. Okay, so now we have a chimney and a fireplace in there. Door cut. Now we need to add an actual door. There's a couple different methods you could do for a door. I'm going to try to emulate a plank doorway. So firstly, let's rotate 90. We're going to make a plate to seal our doorway in. I'm adding side plates to give our door a little bit more frame. I'm going to match the color. Then I am going to make another plank. I'm going to go 2 wide. Yeah, we're going to go 2 wide. About that thick. Alright, and here's why I'm doing this. Now I'm going to make it a slightly lighter so we can see it. I'm going to not quite match them up. Just the tiniest little gap. And copy and paste one more time. Move out. Rotate 90 degrees. Squish it down. Move it up. Copy and paste. Move it down. And that will give us the door we're after. I'm also going to grab a Taurus for the door handle. We don't need a lot of sides to this. We don't need a lot of steps to this. And I'm going to grab a box to just sort of chop it in half. Sides and steps, I'm going to go 8 and 8. Make it a metal type thing. I'm trying to emulate basically a horseshoe or something to that effect. And go ahead. We're going to move it down and group them up to chop it off. Get it down. And we're going to rotate 90 degrees and then go back and undo it. Just the tiniest bit. That way it's sitting at an angle. Go ahead and select all planks and the handle and group. And bring back with multicolor. And then over on the side, we are going to make a window. Move up, push in. If you can, try to match up where the seams are for the logs you made, because cutting halfway through a log is a lot harder than just chopping a log in half. All right. There's that, followed by we want to bring planks in to make a window sill. There we go. We have a window, which I'm going to grab some dowels, basically. We're going to align to the center. There we go. We probably want to do that for both centers. Same sort of thing. One more dowel, rotate 90, and match up to walls. That will give us a window, a door, chimney. That looks like a completed cabin to me. I think I'm going to change this to be that same sort of dark or light wood color. And honestly, at this point, I'm going to select everything, group it. Okay, looks like it kept its colors. And then we're going to scale it down so it fits better in our scene. And then I'm going to take these trees from our previous tutorials and just start distributing them. Give us a forested scene. And there we have it. We have a nice little cabin in the woods. Cool. Hope you had fun. Give this a shot, and we'll see you next week.